It's a Sal Pal Friday, the return of Sal Pal Fridays. Got to thank our good friends over at the Griner Burger Realty, all your Ocean City, Upper Township real estate needs. They are bringing you Sal's appearance all season long, thanks to Johnny G and the boys over there. Sal Pal is back for a Sal Pal Friday. Sal's a frequent Ocean City, Jersey Shore visitor. Sal, welcome back for a Sal Pal Friday.
Yeah, thanks to Johnny G and the Burger Real Estate team at Burger Realty. I mean, I'm really thrilled that I'm back on the Mike Gill show.
Everybody is really thrilled. Last week, everybody said, "What happened to Sal Pal?" I said, we're working it out. We got the Sal Pal. He had it was a COVID 2020. Things are a little rocky, but we're back and going. We're ready to go. But was Doug Pederson ready to go in week number 1, Sal?
Boy, oh boy. I was at that game at FedEx. First of all, Mike Gill, it was a surreal experience. No fans there, very few reporters. Players had to generate their own energy. And it's interesting. I noticed something. If you have to generate your own energy, the momentum swings of a game can be very volatile, very difficult to reverse course, because you just don't have anything to feed off of. So that was one aspect of it. And then, there's the problem of you're up 17-0 and you're throwing the football, Michael. Why? Why are you throwing the football?
I was hoping
throwing the football?
I was
Why do you
hoping
drop back 50 times.
I was hoping that he would have texted you that answer.
Yeah. Those are the kinds of things where if I text him that, I don't get an answer.
Okay, that's a great point, obviously. Let me ask you this. I'll just ask a retort question here. He doesn't have Sanders. Scott goes out. Clement was hurt most of the week. Does he not trust any of the backs?
Yeah, I guess. I guess there's part of that. But I mean, in the second quarter, he's got a 17-0 lead. He's got to go into halftime with the momentum.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And I think it was a killer.
Oh, there's no question. And he said, I want to be aggressive. I mean, hey, look, I like to drive 60, but I can't go 60 in a 25, man. I got to know when I can drive 60 and when I can't. And it feels like he just said, I'm going to drive 60 whether the speed limit's 25 or not.
Yeah. Drive sober or get pulled over.
How much of this has to do with this offensive line? I mean, Baldy was on with us earlier this week, and he seemed to think the offensive line stuff was a little overblown, and that's the same message that Pederson's given us. He said, look, these guys didn't play that bad. There was a lot of other things, the running backs not picking things up, scheme, more communication stuff than the line just getting whipped.
Listen, Michael, here's the bottom line. There was enough blame to go around. I thought Jason Peters was overmatched with Chase Young. I thought Jack Del Rio did a good job of zone blitzes and scheming up blitzes. There's no question about that. I thought that Carson Wentz held the ball too long. There's no way Doug Peterson should have 50 dropbacks in that football game. They have to have more balance on offense. They reconfigured the offensive line after Dillard went out, and that didn't help things. There was enough blame to go around, but still, you're up 17-0. You have to be able to salt a win wet. You had beaten that team 6 times in a row. Carson Wentz was lights out against Washington. Lights out. What changed? Carson Wentz all of a sudden to get stupid. He didn't all of a sudden get stubborn. The offensive line had problems. The offensive line was ill-equipped to handle what Washington sent at them, and Doug Pederson called a poor game.
Yeah,
I'm blaming Carson Wentz for all of it, or putting it squarely on him, or the majority of it, is misguided. All of a sudden he get bad against Washington? He was great against them for 6 straight weeks, 6 straight games.
And a quarter, by the way. He was very good to start that game, and they seemed like they got away with what they started out with. Now, let's kind of transition forward here, Sal, because they got their hands full again with maybe the best defensive player that we've seen in a while in Donald. Brockers is a really good player. After that, I mean, the defense, they played well against Dallas last week, but the interior of the line is going to have their hands full.
They are, and this could be deja vu. Same thing. Eagles on a 6-game winning streak against the Rams, and they've scored 30-plus points in 5 straight games against the Rams. They have changed defensive coordinators. Wade Phillips is no longer there. They have this young kid. He's 36 years old. The last time he called defense was at John Carroll College in Ohio. They're moving Aaron Donald around the line of scrimmage. This year he's not static. That's evident on film. So you have to find him, a la Lawrence Taylor, find out where he's lined up so he doesn't wreck the football game. This will be another major challenge. There's no question about it. But Doug has McVay's number. And I said that last week.
Yeah.
Doug had Washington's number. You know what, Mike? I'm concerned about this team. And there's not many times that I've come on the Mike Gill show in the last 4 or 5 years. You can probably count them on one hand where I've said to you, Mike Gill, I am concerned about the Philadelphia Eagles. Have I ever said that really very much to you at all?
No, and I'm going to follow up with, what is the concerning thing that maybe you're saying causes you to go down that road? By the way, John Carroll's Greg Roman. There's another great offensive mind. He got a defensive coordinator off of John Carroll. How about that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's a good pull by me. Greg Roman, Ventnor City, New Jersey.
No, Mike Gill, not a good pull by you. You broadcast down there. You should know. Come on, Mike Gill. You probably go by Ventnor 15 times a day.
I used to live in Ventnor, yeah.
No, great pull by you. So listen, Mike, my major problem is I don't see confidence. I don't feel confidence from this team. I feel second guessing.
Is that coming from?
I'm not sure where.
Is that coming from Pederson?
I think it's coming from the fact that the offensive line just wasn't that good, and they're very unsure of it. And it's been like that now for a couple of weeks.
All right, let's get a couple Sal Pal keys to this game, and then we'll get your pick for Sunday with the Eagles and the Rams. I also, before you run, and you mentioned the game with no fans, I do want to kind of get another thought about, because I heard Prescott and some of them guys say it was like playing a freshman game, in high school, and how much that is playing a factor in some of these games. But give me a couple of keys to the game.
All right, well, the number one key to the game to me is they have to have balance on offense. If they don't have balance on offense, they're going to lose the game. Number two, is they got to block Aaron Donald. And number three, when they're on defense, you have to find the primary read for Jared Goff. Jared Goff is hike the football, hut, drop back, look for the primary read, get rid of the football. If he has to go to his secondary read, he's in trouble. And McVay does a good job of finding whether it's Kupp or Higbee, but that's what McVay designs for Jared Goff. It's hut, turn around on play action. Where's the football going? If he has to hold it, he gets himself into trouble. And that's the reason why I think Jim Schwartz and the Eagles defense has always owned the Rams, whether Carson Wentz is getting knocked out of the game or not, whether the Eagles are traveling to L.A. or not. Schwartz has been able to beat Goff, just like Belichick beat Goff in the Super Bowl, held him to 3 points. Very good offense. Why? Because it's hut, play action pass, turns his back to the defense, then turns around, faces the defense, and has a primary read. And Belichick coached Schwartz. Belichick and Schwartz coached together. And Schwartz knows exactly what Goff is. Belichick knew exactly what Goff is, and that, to me, is the key to the game. If they disrupt Goff off of that primary read, he has problems processing quickly to the second or third read, and then you can get to him. You know who also has that problem? Carson Wentz.
Well, I'll tell you.
It's all about making sure he gets to that second one, because he's not a quick processor of information after the snap. Now, Wentz is much better than Goff, but Goff is not that good. As for the stadiums, listen, Mike, we're dealing with an unprecedented situation, total upheaval in our society like no other. And frankly, the fact that we are just playing tackle football in America is a miracle in a pandemic.
Yeah.
It's a miracle. Okay? So I wish people would do this. Start from the premise that we're blessed to have the game of football, and then say, okay, how can we make the experience better for the paying customers, the fans? They're the most important thing. The players aren't the most important thing. The owners certainly aren't. Reporters and network people, we're not the most important thing. The most important thing are the people who watch the games, who care about the game of football, who pay for the tickets, who pay for cable, who pay concessions, who buy stuff for their kids. That's the number one thing that I care about. And so when I go to the game, like last week, I want to be able to bring the fan experience to them that they're not getting at the stadium. You got to remember something, Mike, and this number always blows me away. And I'm going to say it to you, it's going to blow you away, and I want you to stick it in your head and remember it. And I got this number from Roger Goodell a couple of years ago when I was talking to him at an owners meeting. And he said, Sal, 7% of all NFL fans go to an NFL game in their lifetime. Lifetime. 7%. 93% of all NFL fans throughout the country never get to an NFL game in their lifetime. Now think about that and how important it is to make sure the fan at home that loves football, we love it. It runs our life. It's our passion. It's our national obsession. But we have to make sure that the fan at home gets this experience and gets it the best they possibly can. And we will get there. We will definitely get there. It's 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
We got to make sure that it gets better each and every week. You see what I'm saying, Mike?
Yeah.
It's very important. It's very important to understand what we have now, but how can we make it better for fans at home? That's the key thing.
Well, and we're seeing each team slowly add, last night 6,000, you had 22,000. Some are going to keep opening up a little bit more. Hopefully everybody's safe out there. There will be nobody there on Sunday for the Eagles and the Rams. Real quick, Sal.
I'm going to be there.
Sal will be there.
Baby.
Who wins and why?
Turn on Sports Centers. Turn on Sunday NFL Countdown. You'll see me, and I will bring it all to you next week on the Mike Gill Show on the Sal Pal Friday. I promise.
We will look forward to that. Who wins and why? Real quick. Who you got?
Don't do this to me, Michael. Don't do it to me. I'm going to pick the Eagles. Going to win 20-17, but I'm not real crazy about the number.
All right, 2017, Sal Pal Friday here on the Sports Bash. We'll look for you Sunday all over ESPN TV with the text message to Doug Pederson.
Hey, and don't forget, Matchup Show's back with your buddy Greg Cosell, Matt Bowen on ESPN and ESPN2 this weekend.
And don't forget, Sal Pal Instagram and get the instant Instagram reactions every Sunday live from Lincoln Financial Field. We are back on a Sal Pal Friday. Sal, enjoy the game.
Thanks to Johnny G and the Burger Real Estate Group. Baby, I love it. See ya.